Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by TaylorMade.
Welcome into Golf Central on a Thursday. Whit Watson, Jim Gallagher Jr. here in Orlando. Nobody in the field at the Wyndham Championship is in danger of losing his card this week. They are all grandfathered in through 2021. But, Jim, points still matter and the money still spends. The top 125 after this event eligible for the playoffs that start next week, so there's still quite a bit riding on this.
Well, absolutely. Roger Sloan said he was freeing it up because he does have his card. But he's got some pretty big names trying to get in the playoffs. They don't want to take 3 weeks off until they go back to Safeway before the U.S. Open. So they want to make it. And you've seen some good scoring out there. The thing I saw the difference, there is some rough. If you do hit it in the rough, there is somewhat of a penalty, but a little bit softer. Had a little bit of rain this morning and last night, so I kind of softened things up. But these guys really tear this golf course up. Saw some really low scores. And some guys that have had success here in the past are continuing to have it this week.
62, 3 players on that number. The 14th consecutive year back to 07. This event has been the final regular season event before the FedEx Cup playoffs. And by the way, weather stopping play just after 6 p.m. Eastern time. Don't forget the Wyndham Rewards Top 10, a $10 million bonus pool to the players who are in the top 10 in the FedEx Cup standings after this week. Let's take a look at Harold Varner's 62, which ties his career low on the PGA Tour. He held the co-lead after a first-round 63 at the Charles Schwab Challenge in June, ultimately finished tied for 19th. And after his round today, he was asked what he learned from being in that position.
A lot. Just stay in the present, work on the shot at hand. And, sometimes stuff's just not going to go your way. But, attitude's everything. And I just want to keep getting in contention, obviously, because there's nothing like it. It's why you play, it's why you practice. But, Colonial stung a little bit, because I keep getting there about every month or so, but I just know that my time's coming eventually.
Yeah, as positive a person as you are, is it hard to stay that positive about, being close and still not having getting that first win out here?
It's not hard at all. Life's really hard. Think about what people are going through right now, Yeah, this is easy. I don't care if I don't ever win. I want to win, but it is what it is.
Varner does not have a top 10 finish this year. He's currently 89th in FedEx Cup points. He's a North Carolina kid. He went to East Carolina. This has to feel like a home game for him, even without fans outside the ropes. And he's right. He's one of those guys that seemingly always knocks on the door.
Well, and he's got a refreshing attitude. When you get to meet him and you spend time with him, he's just one of those guys you kind of pull for, and he's going to win. I mean, he's too good a player not to. He's only had one top 20 since the restart. And like he said, you got to be patient. It takes a while. It's not easy to win on the PGA Tour, but he's got the talent. I think once he kind of just frees it up on that Sunday and kind of just lets it happen, he's going to get that win. But like you said, he feels comfortable here. He's had a lot of success. It's a home game for him.
So 3 players with 62s on day one. What else stood out for you on that leaderboard?
I just think that some of the guys that needed to make a move had made some moves. Charles Schwartzel is 125 shot even, so he's got some work to do. But I just think the scores were really low, and you expect that right there. We're going to see some good scores as it continues on during the week. But it's always amazing. I've played this golf course when it was bent greens. When you go to Bermuda, you're thinking, oh, these things are going to be really hard. But these guys, the key to me, I guess, the thing it points out, if you get it in the fairway, you can make some birdies. If you hit it in the rough, you're going to hit it about 20 feet further away than you do from the fairway. So big advantage to get the ball in the fairway.
Here is the start and projected, or the projected standings currently based on where they stand now that the first round is done for the day. You see that Wyndham Clark right now is the man on the bubble. Charles Schwartzel was the man on the bubble. He began the week 125th in points, and he, with an even par round, slipping outside the top 125. So one more check of that leaderboard. A name you didn't see on the bubble was Hank Lebioda, who began the week 129th. Look where he is now, 3 shots off the lead. He's actually projected 116th, to give you an idea of how much volatility there is right now in those standings. Again, the tour card is not the question. The question is, can you play next week? Can you get to Boston, get into those FedEx Cup playoffs? The leaders talking about those possibilities today.
I really haven't played well since the restart at all, but I felt like last week was kind of a big step forward for me. That I felt like I probably play a little better than I scored at Harding Park, and then to play with Tiger on Sunday and get a little bit of confidence from that. So I felt like things were going the right direction again, and more than anything, just trying to keep things going forward each week here as we enter the playoffs.
I feel like when I'm on, I'm one of the best iron players on tour, and I feel like it's really come back this year. really greens and regulation number has jumped way up. I know the past couple years it was maybe not even the top 100, and I think I'm probably top 10 this year. So that's been a huge stat, because I feel like I'm a good putter week to week, pretty consistent. So the more greens I hit, the better chance I'm going to have.
No different than any other week. I mean, you're trying to do your best every other week. So what's really the difference this week? So nice to see a few putts go in, but it's business as normal. I'm very fortunate because it doesn't matter what happens this week. I have status on the PGA Tour next year. That's comforting to know. So we're just going to go out. We're going to do everything we can to win this golf tournament.
I mean, I'm only 3 tournaments back from surgery, and I knew that something special would have to happen for me to get in the playoffs. And I think mathematically looking at it, I can only afford for one person to beat me. So, yeah, I mean, it's more about just staying the course. I still have a lot of events left on my medical, and the goal every week is to tee it up and get in contention and have a chance on the back nine Sunday, and hopefully we're going to put ourselves in that position, but definitely not thinking about any of the long-term situations and things that could happen from a good week, because I know it's a long road.
Yeah, it's always nice coming back playing where you've won. I mean, you always have a little bit better taste in your mouth, even if things aren't going as planned, whether it's preparation in the beginning of the week, whether it's, the warm-up before. You always feel like once you get on the golf course, you know the course better than the other guys, considering you won there. So, just kind of one of those things that you definitely have more confidence and feel more comfortable off of tee shots, especially when, you're in between clubs. You can go back on kind of what worked in the past to kind of, draw off of that on, trying to pick the right one off the tee or iron shot in the green to certain pins.
35 putts on the day for Koepka, 3.5 strokes lost to the field on the greens. The putting comparison from the PGA Championship and the Wyndham Championship, the common thread here is the putter is not helping him. 32 putts in his last round at the PGA Championship and 35 putts in his first round at his next event, which is the Wyndham Championship. After the round, he did his favorite thing, which was to talk to the media.
Pretty flat. Being in contention the last 2 weeks, playing maybe 6 weeks in a row. A bit tired, to be honest with you, so definitely came out flat, but I got to play. I got no other option.
Did you consider taking a week off after, skipping this one to have a little rest?
Not really, because I thought even if I gain one spot in the FedEx, it makes it that much easier for next week. So, you got to play, see where you're at. I mean, I don't think I've ever played more than 4 in a row, pretty much out here. So, it'll be quite a long stretch, but I got to do what I got to do.
How hard is it to play from the rough out here? I mean, saw a couple of shots guys hit. I mean, hard to move it forward. Is it as penal as it looks?
Yeah, I think in the morning, especially when it's wet, it's very tough to advance it. And you can get some sketchy lies out here. You can get some lies that sit on top, and then you can get someone that sit quite deep down, and it's tough to advance it. But put it in the fairway, you got the ball in hand, so you're fine.
Yeah. What was your takeaway from last weekend? I mean, obviously it didn't play out the way you wanted to. And as you've had time to reflect on it, how do you feel about it and what did you learn from it?
Kind of played similar to how I played today. I don't know. I struggled a little bit getting on my left side on Sunday. Just didn't quite have it.
Yeah.
I felt like the first time haven't had it in a while at a major, but even Bethpage, I thought I played pretty good. It just got very difficult at the end.
Yeah.
Hit some good shots, and it's up to the wind whether it stays below the trees or above it there. But it's going to happen eventually. Sooner or later, I'm going to miss a cut eventually. So I wouldn't. Just is what it is.
It's just the nature of the game. It was not physically related, or was that part
No, it's all right. My body's nowhere near 100%, but at the same time, it'd be nice to have a couple weeks off to kind of get ready for the U.S. Open.
And given sort of the chatter that arose from Saturday night and some of the comments, what did you make of that? Was too much made of some of what you said, or just?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, I apologize for the other guys' comment, just because I didn't I really didn't look at the leaderboard. I saw Dustin was at 9. I was at 5 at that point, and then made 2 coming in. So I really didn't even know where I kind of stood. Didn't really look coming off 18, and then went right into the interview. So I had no idea who was 8, who was 7, but I never really look at guys that are tied with me. I always kind of look ahead, so I had no idea. But I get it. I get how it came across, and I apologize for that.
One last thing. Do you sort of, you'd rather not be in the position you're in, but do you embrace a bit of the challenge of trying to, here you are trying to improve it and get to where you want to be?
Yeah, I'd like to be in Atlanta. That's the whole goal. That's the whole reason we're playing. To see if you can better yourself makes next week a whole lot easier. You never want to be kind of on that bubble. Behind the 8 ball, usually we really don't start playing until March, and obviously right around the players, and then with the injury before, so it's kind of like 6 months and not really playing. So I've kind of had to make up for it, but I've got no other option.
Thank you.
Yep.
Have we made too much of your relationship with Dustin?
Yeah, we worked out I worked with Joey for 2 years. I don't know. I don't know what you guys make your own stories, so I have no idea what y'all do. But yeah, I think even the Jordan and Justin thing gets blown out too much. I think you guys overplay a lot of things.
This is a player who did contend in each of the last 2 weeks he was out on tour. He made double on the 72nd hole in Memphis to finish tied for second. Shot 74 on Sunday, memorably at the PGA Championship. A couple of notes here, Jim. 154th out of 155 players in strokes gained putting today in the first round at Wyndham. And he's playing the event for the first time in 5 years, which gives you an idea of how important it is to him to get ready for the playoffs, as you just heard him say. Start with the putter. Is that the problem?
That's one of the problems, but if you hit 5 fairways, you don't hit it very close, you're not going to make many putts. So you're not going to have strokes gained putting. Yeah, it's the short putts. I think it's a little bit of speed. I noticed that at 3M. He was kind of jamming putts in there, and not that you have to die him in there, but the hole gets a little bit smaller when you start hitting them that firm. You got to be that precise. So I think it's a combination. He hasn't put it all together, although at Memphis he had a really good chance, but he bogeyed 16, which is a par 5. I just think he's getting tired mentally. I think, like you said, when you're in contention, it's a little bit of a drain. Even as great as he is, it gets to you mentally and it becomes physical. And it is important. Otherwise, he would be playing 6 in a row. And he was outside trying to make the playoffs. He has accomplished that. And, of course, he played this week to try to improve himself a little bit more.